As with any online business, the success of an e-commerce website in the long term is going to come down primarily to its ability to build its brand. However, there are some tactics that you can put in place that are going to massively increase its chances of success in the short to medium term. So there are obviously a huge number, but I want to run through a few that I think are particularly important. The first is from a search engine point of view. So the great thing about an e-commerce website is if its website architecture is correctly structured, it represents a catalog of hundreds, even thousands of landing pages that can each bring in really targeted, really highly converting traffic. However, very often, many of these landing pages don't actually exist as far as the search engines are concerned because they don't live on static URLs. They are dynamically generated, which means that when Google looks at that website, rather than being that big, it's actually only that big. Another issue from an SEO point of view is that very often we don't tend to consider the sheer range, the sheer breadth of user intents when someone lands on a given product or category page. So, for example, if someone's searching for a particular brand of t-shirt, we'll tend to focus on that particular product. We won't think, well, hang on, maybe they want to see really high resolution imagery or a video of someone a bit like them wearing that particular item, or maybe customer review integration, or perhaps even links to various fashion articles. We don't consider these other things that would each have a small positive impact on their user experience. Now, not only is that likely to increase conversion rate, but also it's going to improve the ranking of that page in the search engines in the first place, because Google just wants to give the user the best possible experience. The other thing I quickly want to mention is with email. So for e-commerce websites, their email list is arguably their most important asset, but all too often it's completely neglected or largely neglected. Now, the reason why it's so important is because not only should that drive a huge quantity of your weekly sales, but it also, more than anything else, it determines the lifetime customer profit value. So your email list can take your average customer value from here right up to there. And of course, the higher that number, the more you can spend on advertising to acquire that customer in the first place. So it makes your entire business model far more scalable. So yes, of course, in the long term, brand is the key factor, but there isn't going to be a successful long-term brand strategy without a viable and profitable short term. So just make sure you've got all of these considerations in place.